What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I am your host and captain and dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the studio with me is the nerd dad, Zech Keenan.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another week. Post-Gamescom.
Post-Gamescom. Which we were both extremely excited about, and we both, admittedly totally forgot about it. Neither one of us. I watched opening night live, which ironically happened at 11 o'clock in the morning here in the States. It was nighttime, I guess, in Germany. And Zech, I guess, totally forgot it even existed. Didn't even tune in.
Totally spaced it.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. We're excited to talk about some of that. But how has your week been?
Very busy. And it's Monday. It's the start of the week, but it's already been a long week. It's been 100%, busy.
100%.
But yeah, no, it's been good. My wife and my kids took a little vacation out to Kansas for a few days, so I had the whole house myself. So that was fun.
Vacation in Kansas, that's an oxymoron.
Well, they went and visited family. Okay. They had fun. They went to a really cool zoo. My kids had a blast. Amanda had a blast. Vacation's where the heart is. For me, vacation is at home. I love just vacationing at home.
A staycation, 100%.
That's all I want to do. Like that. My vacation this year was them leaving and me hanging out at home.
I know I don't tell my wife this, but seriously, like whenever she would go down to San Diego to see her parents and take our son Shep, it was like, oh, the house to myself. This is great. And my excuse was always like, well, I can't take days off work. I don't have any PTO. But deep down inside, I'm like, oh, heck yes. I'm getting all the gaming in, all the TV and movies. It's going to be great. No, I do miss them when they go on those trips, but it's also extremely nice.
Yeah. No, it's bittersweet, right? Because as a dad, I love being there with my kids. I love experiencing things with the kids, especially when it's like really cool zoos. I guess they saw like a bear at the zoo.
Was this like what's that? A Tiger King type zoo?
No, dude. Kansas has like a legit zoo, like better than anything we got around here. Okay,
so it's not like a bunch of rednecks with like cages in their backyard.
Look, when you got nowhere to go and you're in the middle of nowhere, you got to make sure you got something for people to do. And so, what are you gonna do? What's better than a really freaking amazing zoo?
Tigers in cages.
And like water and like theme parks. They got really cool theme parks out there. So, but anyway.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, I did miss my family after a while. It got pretty boring and lame. I found out that if I had no wife or kids, I'd pretty much just be a hermit. That's kind of all I did.
100%. If anything ever happened to my wife and kids, and it was just me all alone, I'd just lock myself in a building and my house. Also, a building also called my house, and never leave it.
Any building.
I would just lock myself, find a building, lock myself inside, play games.
It's my building.
It's my building now. I claim it.
I gotta go to a new building now, huh?
I would just become a 24-hour like Twitch streamer. Like I just sit and play games online, and I'd be in my community. Like that's how I'd interact with people. I just play video games online all the time.
Yeah. See, I would just be going to work, and then come home, eat dinner, play a game, go to bed. And that would be my routine, because that's literally what I did.
Because we're both so lame. Oh, man. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't even want to think about it. So let's get into our show here. Tonight, I just mixed the word today and tonight. Tonight day. Today we're touching on the highlights from Gamescom 2020, a new and improved Nintendo Switch coming in 2021, ? Maybe, hopefully. We'll see. And how to pre-order the PS5, and a ton of other newdy-riffic news. Again, gotta applaud our writers on this one. It's pretty incredible, the stuff that they come up with for me to read each and every week.
Pretty good writers.
But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Super Gamer producer, Adrian Holmes, and our Super Gamer sponsors. We have Bill Bird, Julie Bates, Dustin Long, Brent Fox, and Daniel James. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for all the love and support. If you want your name to be shouted out on the show, if you want early access to notes and episodes, support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys, but we'll talk more about that later. Also, quick shout out here. You should go check out our Discord, where you can hang out with us during the week. Let us know, what you've been playing, what you've been watching. Just, tell jokes. Daniel James, our very own Patreon sponsor there, told a very nice story about rain in Wales. It was very entertaining. I know this sounds not entertaining, but no, we have fun in there. That's supergamerboys.com/discord to access that. And that leads right into our mailbag segment here, where we got some questions from our Discord users. Mailbag.
Oh, yeah. Mailbag.
Alrighty, guys. So first on the list here, we got a question immediately after I asked. You guys are on top of it. I did the show notes late, did them just this morning, and I was like, hey, guys, I need some help. At everyone on the Discord server, send me your questions. And Sir Prince Lot over there was on the ball. It also helps that it's like he's 3 hours ahead of us. He's in a different time zone, so he was already up and at him and ready to go, and probably on his lunch break at that point. Who saw the Gollum trailer or teaser? Who saw the Gollum teaser? I'm pretty sure it'll be a VR game where you're sneaking around or something like that. But if it's anything like The Hobbit for PS2, I'm 100% down to buy or even pre-order that thing. Any of you guys ever play that game? And what did you think about that teaser if you saw it? So let's start with the first question. Did you play The Hobbit on PS2?
My cousins had... I don't think it was The Hobbit. I think it was The Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah, The Fellowship of the Ring on PS2. And it was cool. It was definitely a different flavor of Lord of the Rings games. I was used to the EA ones where it was just like these hack and slash, combat, like the Two Towers, Return of the King. I love those Lord of the Rings games. But no, I did not play The Hobbit at all.
So the Fellowship of the Ring, that was still based off the movies, though, correct?
It was more based off the book.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's how The Hobbit was as well. So I remember playing The Hobbit on PS2. It was made by Sierra Entertainment, who they were known for all sorts of...
Tribes.
I feel like every PC game I ever fired up, I feel like said, Sierra at the beginning of it. Yeah. The game was very strange because I think it was during that time when Lord of the Rings was super hot. And I was like, okay, cool. This is going to be, similar to those games. And it was not at all. Like, it was a very cartoony, childish kind of like art style. Just very different from what I expected when I first received this game. I don't remember if I bought it or if I had a family member buy it for me, like for, as a gift or something. I very much was shocked more by that. Like, oh, this is not connected to the films at all. This is connected to the book. It was extremely hard. Like, at least for a kid, I remember getting about halfway through it. And I mean, that took me a long time just to get like halfway through it. And it got to the point where I'm like, I think I'm done. Like, this is too hard, too frustrating. It was back in the day where you could sort of find walkthroughs online if you knew where to look. IGN didn't necessarily have a wikis page. It was just like you Google around and found, a person that you trusted back in the day.
CCC.com.
Oh,
Cheat Code Central.
Cheat Code Central. Yes. So good. So I didn't necessarily enjoy it, but I'm glad you did, Derek. So what were your thoughts on that teaser trailer of the Gollum game?
So we'll see. I mean, I feel that like 2020 has been the year of like just CGI trailers. Like, I feel like it's very rare that we actually get a game that's released with actual gameplay now. So I'm kind of cool on it. I've heard some things about it that, it's going to be kind of like I'm interested some. So I guess Smeagol or Gollum will have to, it has that split personality. So you're going to have to, one of the key gameplay mechanics is going to be him kind of arguing with himself when like doing this, making decisions like, you can lean more into like the Gollum side or you can lean more into like Smeagol side,
So it's almost like an Infamous or like Mass Effect kind of like you can be good or evil type thing, like those types of decisions. You think?
I think so. I think that's going to be a key factor in it. I know it takes place in between the point where he actually makes a deal with Shelob, and he's already released from Sauron's capture. So it takes place after he's been captured and tortured.
Oh,
now
so
he's
like
trying to find the
after
ring.
Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah. So that was
Because
another thing
like,
that I had read too.
because like that's right at the beginning of. I mean, my wife and I have recently been rewatching Lord of the Rings movies, and in that, the extended version stuff, they kind of talk about like, okay, yeah, they captured him, they tortured him, they get the name, where the rings are, stuff like that. So okay, so it's kind of takes place during or a little bit after even the first movie, first book.
Yeah, right around that
Interesting.
time. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it was before he gets captured, right? Like right before he gets captured?
Hmm.
Something like that. It's really close to the Fellowship.
Yeah. That's
Really
interesting.
close.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not really interested in the game at all. I mean, it was like kind of a neat cinematic trailer, but there's
Yeah.
nothing in there to be like, this is going to be a fun game. It's just like, oh, okay, like it was a very pretty cinematic, like as far as like graphics wise. Like I watched it in 4K. I'm like, holy cow, like this is looks really good, but what in the world is the gameplay going to be? Like I'm just very curious what they reveal about that.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. I mean, it's not really my jam. I mean, it's gonna take. I'm looking forward to seeing some gameplay on it before I really kind of, make am I gonna buy this or not?
Call.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah. Okay. The next question here from our mailbag, Kajoma01 from Discord asked, if you could have your perfect game, what would it be? What type of genre, systems, art style, anything you can think of? That's a big question there, but I have a very quick mailbag answer for you. How about this? I just want another Metal Gear Solid game. That's what I want. Not like Metal Gear Solid 5. I want something more akin to 1 or 2. I really like some of the systems and stuff they did with 1 and 2. I that's all I want. That's my perfect game.
Perfect game. All right, my perfect game would be, I mean, if I want to do the cheap, thoughtless answer like you, it would probably be...
I'm just staying on brand. That's just my brand, okay? I got to be true to myself.
Sure, man. It's not really fair to the listeners. They're asking for something a little deeper, but whatever.
Okay, well, I want a stealth game. That's what I want. I want stealth.
You want a stealth game and the main character's name goes by like Snake, maybe? I don't know.
It rhymes with rake.
Wears a headband.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's a tough one because I really like side scrollers. But I really like deep RPGs. See, my perfect game would probably be... It's also going to depend on what mood I'm in. So here's this, okay? I want a side-scrolling adventure game. Okay, much akin to like a Metroidvania, that type of... I love those, where you just have this big map and you gotta go figure it all out. You play as a character that looks kind of like a Mega Man, from Mega Man X. Maybe he's got like a gun on his arm. You can climb walls, shoot things. You can do some really cool, fast combos. Maybe you can that'd be like your level up. You kind of get different. You find different move sets. Your gun can. I don't know. It's got to have a really atmospheric soundtrack. And it's got to be clever in how it kind of like Axiom Verge, how it,
Yes.
I don't know if you ever played that.
Yeah.
I love Axiom Verge. That's one of my favorite games. But I like the way it kind of like handled items and like how to find them. And it was kind of like anything could be anywhere at any given time, but it wasn't hard. Like if you're actually paying attention, you can do it. So that'd be my perfect game. Okay. Otherwise, I just want a new Metroid Prime. That's all I want. I know they announced the Metroid Prime 4. I just want another one, and I want it to be really good.
Yes.
That's all I want.
Yeah. Now would be the perfect time for Nintendo to drop like a remastered collection on Switch or the first 3, and then like pump out the 4th one next year. Like that would be so amazing.
A remaster? Because they already remastered them. Remember they remastered them for the Wii for the first 2. Right. They remastered the first 2 and then bundled in the 3rd.
Right.
Which here's my Metroid Prime collection story. One of my great gamer moments of shame. I had bought that game brand new for $60 when it came out. The trilogy, right? Mass Effect or Metro Prime trilogy, super cool. And at the time, I went through this phase in my life where I just traded in every single game I owned, just because I was like, oh well, the games are worthless. I already beat all these. I'm just gonna trade it in. I should not have traded in the Metro Prime trilogy. You know how much that game is worth now? Like hundreds of dollars.
What?
Yes.
Jeez.
I'm like, I looked it up on Amazon to like buy it again. I'm like, it was like $150.
That's so crazy.
I'm like, what? I was kicking myself in the foot, man. I was shooting myself in the foot, kicking myself in the pants.
At the same time.
But you know what I mean.
So really you're shooting yourself in the butt.
I shot myself in one foot and then jumped up so high in pain and agony, screaming that I kicked myself in the butt.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's double whammy of pain and humiliation there. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
But anyway.
Yeah. That sucks.
Thanks, Kojima, for bringing that back. I could have got my rest of my life thinking about that. Thanks. I got PTSD.
I have PTSD. And kind of to describe like what I like about Metal Gear, like I like, I am a huge fan of like the fixed camera angle. I think that's fun, and if done correctly, I thought Metal Gear did that great. Mm-hmm. Again, like the sound design of things, like Metal Gear is such a great game, and more so even like that even being a game mechanic to where, oh, you walk too loudly, someone hears you, you knock on a wall to distract them, like that type of thing. Like I love those stealth mechanics, that type of thing, that tactical, like the worlds. I like that, what they call it, fourth wall breaking, where like, okay, alluding, like the game understands that it's being played by a gamer, like there's someone watching from the outside or talking about, or like when they give a tutorial and like, Snake, you need to press the X button, blah blah blah. It's like, wait a second, like stuff like that. Like I don't know, I just love so much about the Metal Gear games. Like, so it doesn't have to be Metal Gear, but just like if it had those types of mechanics, the stealth, that just being so key. Like that's why I love the Splinter Cell games. Like I love, hide in the shadows, hide under something, just that being such a key mechanic. That's something I miss in modern games, like stealth not being, like there's still stealth in games like Horizon Zero Dawn, you can hide in the grass and stuff like that, but even The Last of Us, but it's just so different from what some of those classic stealth games were like. So that's what I miss in a game. But cool.
And then we have one more, but we're going to touch on that one later.
Yes,
we got another question from Homeboy.
One of our news articles that we're going to read. So I think it's time for the nerdy nudes.
You're going to talk about the nerdy news now. The news.
The news.
Because nudes is gross.
Well, to each his own. Nintendo plans an upgraded Switch console and major games for 2021. This comes from Takashi Mochizuki over at Bloomberg.
That's pronunciation.
Thank you. I practiced that.
Well done.
Nintendo company plans to debut an upgraded model of its Switch console next year, along with a lineup of new games. People familiar with the matter said, ceding 2020's holiday spotlight to rival devices from Sony Corp and Microsoft Corp. The specifications of the new machine have yet to be finalized, though the Kyoto-based company has looked into including more computing power and 4K high-definition graphics. People briefed on the strategy told Bloomberg News. Asking not to be identified because it's private, Nintendo faces stiff competition for gamers' attention this fall, as the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X are set to arrive in time for the shopping season. The release of an upgraded Switch would be coupled with or followed by a slew of games from Nintendo itself and related outside studios, the people said. Those games would address a wide range of players, from casual gamers seeking small doses of escapism to more devoted fans putting in marathon gaming sessions. The focus on next year's pipeline explains Nintendo's relatively quiet software release schedule so far this year, the people said. The rest of the article kind of talks more about numbers and stats, which is pretty staggering. Like Nintendo's killing it both. They go into financial stuff. Their shares have surged more than 70% from March's lows. The sales of it's up to 61 million Switch consoles sold in the period between its March 2017 launch and the end of June. And there's even a talk of the Switch will surpass. This is Research Institute analyst Hideki Yasuda. The Switch will surpass the Wii sales even without an upgrade, said Ace Research Institute analyst, and a sound hardware update plan would even allow the Switch to surpass the Nintendo DS handheld. So analysts out here, third-party analysts, so not even within Nintendo, are saying the Switch is already on track to blow by the Wii and easily surpass the Nintendo DS, and that's even without having an upgraded console next year, which is insane. But I wanted to hear your thoughts on them coming out with a new console next year. Do you think, two questions, do you think this is happening? And also, is this something that you are interested or want? Like, do you think this is a good thing to happen if it is?
So if it's for sure happening, yeah, it's great. I think it's a super good idea, especially since it's going to be kind of coming in the wake of the PS5 and Xbox releases. But if it is an upgrade, I think the only real thing that they should really be focusing on the upgrade probably would be like better battery life, like letting that thing
fixing
last.
Joy-Con drift.
Yeah, Joy-Con drift would be another one that's a given. Mine's starting to drift too. My buddy Steve actually gave me a kit to fix it. I just gotta find time to do it.
Yeah,
but
I've had to do that a couple times, and mine's starting to do it again a third time. I'm like, you gotta be
what?
kidding me.
Man,
Yes.
dang, this is the first time mine started drifting since I've owned it, and I got it the day it came out.
Dang, that's lucky.
Yeah. We pre-ordered it like the day they announced the pre-orders. We're like, yes. It was my Valentine's Day. It was me and my wife's Valentine's Day gift to each other.
Nice.
We're awesome.
You won out on this one, or on that one.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? Amanda plays that thing just as much as I did.
Oh really? Oh, that's awesome. Okay. There you
go. Yeah, no, I think that it'd be interesting if they make a new one. I don't know if creating if they'd be doing themselves a disservice in my opinion if they just went with it does 4K now. I don't think that would. You'd have to find then you'd probably have to download all these texture packs for the older games to kind of get them up-resed, which is going to suck up a lot more room. I don't really think they should do stronger or sturdier graphics because that's not really where they're trying to compete. But definitely in terms of battery life and just
Yeah, I don't know if it would just do 4K though. I think if it did 4K, that also includes it loading older games quicker and having faster load times, having smoother frame rates, because even some of the games that as beautiful as they might have looked still had issues with bad frame rates and stuff like that, some of the first party stuff. There was when the Link's Awakening remake came out, there was talks of certain areas having frame issues and stuff. And so I think it would be capable of 4K, but man, imagine some of those games that have been released in the last, what has it been, 3 years now since it released in March. Well, then being able to run at 30 or even 60 frames per second. But still at maybe 720p. That's the thing. A lot of those games too are also designed to only do at 720p. Even when you put in your dock, it up-reses to 1080, but it still is only running at 720. So imagine running the 720 or even 1080 game 30 to 60 frames a second instead of an unstable 30. That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I think putting it fixing those frame rate issues would be pretty nice too, for sure. So, but good on them. I'm excited. I think it's about time. It's been 3 years.
Yeah.
I do think that come holiday season, I think Nintendo just looking at the strategy between Xbox and Sony, where neither company has really announced pricing. Neither company has really given us a solid, hey, here's the games that are coming.
Which is insane. It blows my mind.
That's another conversation. But given that, Halo got delayed. Given all that, Nintendo could probably come out the winner of this holiday season just because people are already think about the demand for Animal Crossing. You know what I'm saying? All they really have to do is just drop the price of the Switch by $50, bundle it with Animal Crossing or something, and voila, you've got a holiday killer.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. That's kind of my take. That's the Zech Keenan, armchair quarterback take.
There you
But,
go. Yeah, my biggest question is like, is this actually happening? Because what was it? A couple of years ago, there was news articles came out saying, "Hey, there's 2 new editions of Switch coming out," and then the time that they predicted came and went, nothing. And eventually, we did get the Switch Lite. So one of those editions did come to be late.
yeah.
But now it's this one. It's like, okay, we've been through this. 2 summers ago, we went through the same thing. Is it actually going to come out next year, or is this going to be another, next summer comes and goes, and then really it's like fall or winter of, it's more like closer to 2022 or something even. Like, I don't know. It was one of those things I got excited, and I'm like, oh, we went through this a couple of years ago with it,
Yeah.
or like a year and a half ago. It's like, is it worth getting my hopes up until like I just almost I want to wait to see until it's real. There's an advertisement from Nintendo, tweet on Twitter, whatever it is, saying, hey, this is real. Because we got our hopes up. I remember early on, it was one of our earlier episodes. There were like 2 or 3 news articles. We talked about it multiple times because they kept new sources saying, oh, there's a new more powerful Switch Pro. They kept calling it. And we did there's a couple episodes we talked about it, and then nothing never came. And eventually a Switch Lite came, which was awesome. But yeah, I'm more in the boat like, okay, it'll be cool when it happens, if it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what's up.
Yeah, we will see. But the next news story here comes from IGN. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War officially revealed, out in November 13th, it says. So
that is the longest title for a Call of Duty game ever.
Very long. So it's
Why
like
do they
Call
keep
of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It's like, what the heck?
Why not just Call of Duty Cold War or Black Ops Cold War? I mean, these are all kind of like fragmented series anyway. Like, just why? Just I don't know. That's my opinion. But
I think the only reason I mean, even this doesn't make sense, but the only reason I can understand why they did this is because they wanted to make it obvious this is a direct sequel from the first one. So it's technically Black Ops 2, but unfortunately there's already a Black Ops 2.
Yeah,
it's supposed to take place before Black Ops 2, after Black Ops 1. And it's like, okay, so it's like 1.5 kind of thing.
Yeah. Lion King 1.5.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a Lion King 1.5. That's what this is. But yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has officially been revealed and will come out to Xbox One, PS4, and PC on November 13th, with PS5 and Xbox Series X versions set for release this holiday season. After numerous leaks, teases, and rumors, Activision today unveiled its Treyarch Raven co-production inside Call of Duty Warzone, alongside the announcement that will feature a campaign, new multiplayer, and new zombies experience, and a continuation of Warzone. Black Ops Cold War will feature the following modes, according to its Battle.net description. Campaign. Black Ops Cold War will drop fans into the depths of the Cold War's volatile geopolitical battle of the early 1980s. Nothing is ever as it seems in a gripping single-player campaign where players will come face-to-face with historical figures and hard truths as they battle around the globe through iconic locales like East Berlin, Vietnam, Turkey, Soviet KGB headquarters, and more. Multiplayer is, what multiplayer is. And then zombies. Uncover dark Cold War experiments that unleash a new zombie threat to take on, and frightening, intense cooperative gameplay with friends.
Wow.
So that's all well and good and cool and everything. I was almost more shocked because this is the latest a Call of Duty game's ever been announced. It's like 2 months before release, right?
Yeah.
Normally they tease it in March and then give you a trailer in April, maybe May.
Yeah,
and
true.
So it seems kind of bizarre, it's August now and we're just hearing about this, which I know we've done previous articles talking about. It was kind of a tumultuous production, developers changing hands, that type of thing, that bad to where they had to scrap the project and start over, which is crazy to think. Okay, these games come out every year and they have to last minute drop your game. Oof. That's a lot of weight on the shoulders of the people, Treyarch and Raven here, who took it over. But here's a little update to the article I thought was kind of interesting. Activision has released a detailed, frequently asked question about the ways to purchase Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War and cross-gen possibilities. So if you buy the standard edition on PS4, either digitally or physically, you have an option to buy an upgrade to the PS5 version of the game. However, with physical, you have to have the disc Like the disc is still required on PS5, even if you bought an upgraded version. But on Xbox One, purchases cannot upgrade their version to this Xbox Series X version if you buy the physical edition. Upgrades for digital editions on Xbox One are currently being evaluated according to Activision. So right now, if you buy Xbox One version of Black Ops Cold War, both digital or physical, at this point, as far as with the information we have, you cannot buy an upgraded or upgrade your version to the Xbox Series X version.
I wonder if it's because I wonder like if it's bucking the. Remember how Xbox wanted free upgrades for all that stuff, all their games.
Right. Yeah.
It could be running into some legal third-party stuff. Because
Xbox is wanting to do the, I forget what it's even called, the smart delivery thing.
Smart delivery, yeah.
And so charging for it kind of against their, general practices that they're hoping to move towards. So I don't know. It just seems kind of interesting. PS4 is like, oh yeah, whatever. Go ahead, buy the upgrade. It'll probably be like $15 or something, 10 or $15 usually. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like Xbox is like, nah, physical you can't upgrade, and digital, well, it's currently being evaluated. So we'll see. I'm sure that'll change soon, but yeah, I don't know. That kind of stood out to me. It seemed like kind of not worrisome because it's just Call of Duty and people are going to buy it anyways. It's like whatever. But yeah, I wonder what would cause that other than maybe some sort of like weird legal thing with them not wanting to use smart delivery or something, or what it might be.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that every year I tell myself, whatever, another Call of Duty, I'm not gonna get it. And then like my brother or somebody's playing it, and I'm like, oh fine, I'll get it. It's on sale, and I swoop on it when it's on sale.
Yeah,
but I never liked Black Ops. Black Ops is literally my least favorite out of all the Call of Duties. I really liked all of Infinity Ward stuff. Mm-hmm. Like I loved Ghosts. I loved obviously Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. I love I never got a chance to play Infinite
Warfare.
Infinite Warfare, yeah. I was like Infinity War. That's not it.
It's made by them. That's what's confusing. It's Infinity Ward made Infinite Warfare.
Like, Infinity Wardfare.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So for me, like the first Black Ops is probably one of my most favorite Call of Duty games. But once they got futuristic with 2 and 3 and 4 and everything, I'm like, no, I'm out. But the first one,
what the heck?
I don't know. I love the dark nitty gritty. Like when they did World at War, like that was like my favorite.
World at War
Call
was great.
Duty. World at War was amazing. And then when they did Black Ops, it was that same kind of, it was made by Treyarch again. I was like, I don't know. I just love the dark gritty thing that Treyarch does. Like they just get so intense with the story. Like, cause I always play Call of Duty for the campaign. I'm one of those weirdos where I don't care about the multiplayer. I love the campaign. And Treyarch always had a killer story with like World at War and then Black Ops.
But Call of Duty Modern Warfare had like better stories though.
Modern Warfare had great stories too. But again, I just always love the aesthetic of like I miss Call of Duty World War II games. So like World at War always like, I love that one. And then I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of I guess it's just the modern stuff. Like the modern stuff doesn't get me. I love the historical stuff like that. It's always got me.
I'm interested to see what they do with Ronald Reagan. Like, I really hope it's not. I hope it's not going to be like one of those things like, oh, here's Ronald Reagan. We're going to just. There's a line that they need to walk, and I don't think they're going to be able to walk it. You know what I mean?
Where he's not like more like a criminal mastermind kind of thing. Like, go do what you want.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm Ronald Reagan. I'm like one of people's favorite presidents, depending on who you ask. And like, I don't think that's gonna be a big turnoff to people that if they don't portray him right, like and by right I mean if they don't portray Ronald Reagan in a way that appeases both people, both people they do love him or hate him, you're gonna get some backlash, some negative press, and that's it. Very well might hurt the game itself. It would actually make me. Depending on how bad and obnoxious and progressive or social justice-y it is, I'd probably come out and not want to get it just because of that. But I might not get the game for a bunch of other reasons. So,
it'll be interesting because even like the original Black Ops had John F. Kennedy in it, JFK, but it was a zombie DLC. Like he was a playable character in the zombie DLC. But
Well, they ended.
like I don't think he was actually in. He might have like had a quick like 2-second cameo where you saw like the back of his head in the campaign or whatever. But I feel like it was like the only presence he had was like, oh, you can play as JFK and kill zombies.
Yeah, you play as
Where
Fidel Castro, kill zombies. Like they had
exactly,
like you had like a bunch of other deals. You know what I mean?
where like this, like actually having it, like at least from the trailer, it's like, oh, like you have a sit down meeting and a drawn out conversation with Ronald Reagan, and almost like he's like the one giving you license to kill to do these missions. And it's like, okay, where are they going with this?
Yeah. Well, I kind of hope he's not like in it like the whole time. I hope it's just more like a scene with him in it, and that's kind of I think that'd be the best way to handle it. Because here's where I'm at with it. Okay, so in the actual, I guess in the original trailer, they actually cut out they actually had footage of Tiananmen Square. I don't know if you remember Tiananmen Square.
Yeah.
So they had that in the trailer.
They have an extended trailer that they showed at Gamescom too. I haven't watched the extended one. I wonder if it's in the extended one, maybe.
And I heard that it is not. I was listening to another podcast today, and they were talking about how like they took it out because it was offensive to the Chinese, and it was like, your country is still like that. Like, how is that offensive? Like, you did this, and not only did you do it, you're actually proud of it. So take it, like, own it or don't own it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I feel like it's just, we're kind of kowtowing to the Chinese now. When it's like, dude.
Oh, I mean that's like every company. It's like when the
NBA,
what was it, or earlier in the year when the whole like free Hong Kong thing was going on, and Activision banned the one guy from playing what game was it?
Overwatch,
StarCraft, or was it Overwatch or something like that?
I think it was Overwatch.
One of their games. So like at this, and I mean, Activision owns Call of Duty, so it's one of those things where like they know they have so much money to make over there, so they're of course gonna.
They're tacking, and it's making me mad because basically they're like sacrificing their, man, what's the word I'm looking for? Code of ethics. They're sacrificing their honor to make another buck, and it's like, I mean, they're going to make like millions of bucks, but still, like, at some point, like, what is the cost of doing work with communists worth to you? You know what I mean? So
their soul. They're selling their soul.
and I said there's a few other reasons that make me want to not get this game, and that's another reason where I'm like, I don't know if I really want to support Activision much longer because this is it's getting kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, Activision and Blizzard just so quick to like, okay, whatever you want, China.
Yeah. Oh yes, China.
Kind of, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, they are businesses and they want to make money, but on the other hand, it's like, oh, when it affects some sort of like artistic vision, even like, hey, like these
they're doing it now. Like, if you think about it, like, not Tiananmen Square status, but I mean, like, seriously, like, if you speak out against, they're going into people's homes, they're saying that, and if you have like a Bible or anything, they make you sign a form that says, you can look this up. You either renounce God or renounce whatever religion it is. You have to say that, the state is all that matters and the state is your God, basically, paraphrasing. And if you don't sign that, you are not allowed to get government welfare. Which in communist China, that's all there is. That's your bread and butter is government welfare. So it's not like it is here. Like, I don't know what Americans are thinking communism is, but that's it. Like, that's what things are like over there. You don't have a chance to choose. You don't. So it's frustrating because you're sacrificing ideals to make money, and you're just perpetuating an evil. You're perpetuating ideological slavery and then some genocide. Just so you can make more money, and like that's really what it is. It's like, so, man, it's really disappointing.
Yeah,
anyway, I'm off my soapbox now.
Yeah, I don't. It's really sad, and it's just like, okay, it's hard to know what a response should be. Like, okay, dude, because I mean that's a hard thing. Is like everything is so entrenched with Chinese politics now, from our entertainment to even things that like we need day to day too. So it's like, oh man, it's such a hard thing to walk through and figure out what to do there.
From an American,
From
an American standpoint too, we tend to sacrifice our ideals for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So like, for example, we know Disco Elysium. The guy that creates that game has some very heavy-handed communist philosophies that he believes and does. So it's like, okay, well, if you buy this game, you're funding his beliefs, or if you buy Call of Duty, you're funding this. You got to ask yourself the question of how much is it worth to you to play a game that the creators of that game aren't in line with your philosophies. And I'm speaking to myself when I say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think, I think that we put too high a price on, we write it off as like, oh, it's just a video game, or oh, it's just a movie, or oh, it's just a song. Like, but at the end of the day, it is more than that. Someone had to make that, and you are supporting that artist or that.
Yeah. Well, what was that? What is it that Colin Moriarty always says? Like, vote with your wallet. Like,
yep. Vote with your wallet.
Like, if you don't, if you don't like what they're about, then don't buy it. And they'll, maybe they'll get the point. They get to see the picture there. Maybe they won't. Maybe. But either way, like, if you don't agree with it, then don't support it there. So.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, maybe enough people do that with Call of Duty, and they'll start making some changes. I doubt it, but
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Cool. So this next story here comes from The Verge. This is a fun one.
Yes.
Sony opens registration for invite-only PlayStation 5 pre-orders. This is the most bizarre thing. I got this email earlier this week, last week. And of course, I already talked about last week. I'm probably not going to get the PS5. I can't really afford it right now. It's not a good time. And, as far as the game's coming out, I don't know if it's worth it. But I'm a sucker, and I still sign up to pre-order the PS5 just in case. You never know. Maybe
you never know.
Like
it's like a lottery now.
Maybe $600 falls in my lap like a week before I get the email from them, like, hey, you can pre-order that. You never know. But yeah, so here's what the article says. If you're confused about what I'm talking about, Sony has announced the latest step in its dragged-out PlayStation 5 reveal. 100% agree with that. With the company opening online registration to possibly receive an invitation to be one of the first to pre-order the console directly from PlayStation. So literally, it's a lottery system. You might get chosen to pre-order a PlayStation. According to Sony's announcement, there will be a limited quantity of PS5 consoles available for pre-order this holiday season. The invitation program is a chance for existing PlayStation customers. So that's another kind of key point, is you have to have a current PSN. If you've canceled your PlayStation Network account, or you've never owned a PlayStation console, you only have Xbox, you're not going to have a chance to buy PlayStation 5, at least during the pre-order phase. The invitation program is a chance for existing to get a shot at being able to order the upcoming console. As Sony's frequently asked question page notes, filling out the registration form does not guarantee an invite to be able to pre-order the console, with invitations distributed based on, quote-unquote, previous interest in PlayStation activities. So depending on how active you are, I guess, on PlayStation Network, that's what's going to determine if you're good enough to own a PS5. And even if you do get an invite, you're still not guaranteed a pre-order. So each invitation will be open only for a limited time and has limits on just a single console pre-order per PSN ID, along with 2 of each of the new DualSense controllers and other PS5 controllers. Additionally, you'll need a US address to ship your PlayStation 2. Consoles will also only be available while supplies last. So if Sony does invite you, and so if you get chosen, and if you click on the link within the allotted time they give you, so like if they give you like, I don't know, probably a couple hours, and you click on that link, if there's PlayStations even still in stock at that point, then you can pre-order one. So if Sony does invite you, you'll want to act quickly, it says. The news is, of course, conspicuously absent of details like a price or release date for the PlayStation 5, as Sony continues its excruciatingly slow game of cat and mouse with Microsoft over who will blink and announce an actual cost for its next-gen console first. So this was the most bizarre email to receive, and then I didn't read all the fine print. I just signed up. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, throw me in the lottery. It's free. Like, it didn't cost me money to get thrown in the lottery. But then reading this article, I'm like, holy smokes, that's the most convoluted garbage I've ever heard in my entire life. Like,
Yeah.
it's literally a registration to maybe possibly pre-order a PlayStation, maybe.
Yeah. And here's the frustrating thing. It's really, it's very exclusive. So let's say if I never had a PlayStation before,
or never used your PlayStation Network account.
Yeah, I can't get this.
No.
Like, what the heck? Like, I guess I'm going to Xbox then, because you won't let me buy your console. Like,
right.
Or I'm going to get a Nintendo Switch because you told me no, or you ran out. Like, what's the deal?
Yeah, it would be one thing if it's like, oh, we're like the first, let's say, the first 500,000 console, or even like, I don't know, 200,000 consoles go to, I don't know, I'm just throwing random numbers. Maybe it's higher or lower. The first million, let's just say like maybe the first million go to PlayStation Network. Like you can get on this exclusive list for the first million people, and then the rest of the quantities will come out on launch day. That would be one thing. That'd be fine. Like, okay, yeah, whatever. They get to pre-order, but I still have the chance to pre-order and get it launch day if I'm quick enough.
This is
this is saying no. All the quantities are going towards PlayStation. If that's out, there might not be PlayStations in stock until like January of 2021 or something. Like you might have to wait like 3 months, 4 months before you can get your hands on one. Like it's not like there's an allotment for exclusive PlayStation Network users. Yeah. They're dumping it all in, and when they run out, okay, sorry, the rest of the world's like, sorry. That just seems so crazy. They're
selling it directly from the PlayStation website. They're not partnering with Target. They're not partnering with Walmart. They're not partnering with Best Buy, which is typically, since like the dawn of like games, like consoles anyway, that's where you'd get them. Yeah. And so this is the first time. It's very strange.
They're going to very strange. A lot of those sellers, like they're not going to be very happy, I imagine.
Oh yeah. Like they're and this is also only available to people in the U.S.
That too.
Only only U.S. citizens will be able to get PlayStation 5s.
That's what it seems like. I mean, yeah.
It says you have to have a U.S. address.
No. Yeah. I mean, like, does that actually mean though they won't have allotments set aside for Japan or set aside for Germany or whatever? Like,
that's exactly what it means. If you look on their, if you read like their actual release, that's what it states. You have to. It's only available in the U.S. So like, I don't understand. I don't understand that. Like this has been the worst console launch year.
Oh yeah,
ever.
And even the wording here. Okay, I'm on the facts page here. I currently reside outside the U.S. If invited, can I still make a PS5 console pre-order reservation? If you receive an invite and units are still available, as long as you ship to a U.S.-based address, your pre-order reservation will be allowed. So basically, you have to have a buddy in the U.S. to get your shipment and then ship it out to you. Basically, you're going to pay double for the console at that point after customs and shipping cost. Like, that's ridiculous.
No console is worth the amount of hassle you're going to have to go through to get that.
No, not at all. This is the most anti-consumerism decision I've ever seen. And I'm really bummed it's from PlayStation because, everyone knows how much I love them, but boy, you really swung really hard. And it was totally in the wrong direction. You hit the umpire in the head. Like, you just knocked him out cold. Like that's what you missed the ball and knocked the umpire out cold. Like, that's what happened right now.
Like, you're out of there.
Oh, man. This is bizarre. If anything, it just kind of solidifies, then I'm definitely not getting one this year, like this holiday. If it has to be exclusive like this, that's even if I do get chosen, I already feel like that's too many hoops I have to jump through. Like, I should just be able to go to Amazon or GameStop and click pre-order. Like, don't make me jump through all these hoops. Like, just out of principle, I'm almost going to be like, even if I get chosen, be like, screw you. No, I'm good.
Yeah. Keep your PlayStation.
Keep your dang PS5. I don't know. It's bizarre, messed up. But let's lighten the mood a little bit with some Gamescom 2020 highlights.
Oh, hang on. Homeboy actually had a question that we wanted
Oh, I totally missed it. Okay, yeah. So Homeboy did ask. This is what we skipped in mailbag here. Homeboy from Discord, very own Patreon producer. Everyone is over the moon for the next generation of consoles. Shiny new hardware and shiny new games and features, but there's always a chance the grass could be greener on the other side. Do you all have any concerns or reservations about this new gen, higher game prices, possible new software restrictions? Should we think twice about plopping down all that cash?
You mean on day one?
Good.
You mean on day one?
Question.
Yeah, on day one, don't do it.
No.
Trust me, don't do it. Wait a year, okay? They'll work out all the kinks out of the, anyway, the firmware, the software updates, and some of the good games will be on sale, and there will be new releases that are better than the relaunch games.
They'll have bundles
that are be out and bundles. But if he's talking like long term, like is this going to be worth it? Yeah, like it's always going to be worth it. I mean, high game prices, that's fine. I mean, that's not.
If it means better games, yeah, it's worth it. It's great.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like the price of a new game hasn't changed in
like
eons,
10 years at least.
Yeah, like even maybe going back longer than that.
I want to say, wasn't it like I feel like we talked about it on a previous episode. Wasn't it like around 2008 or something? 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been a while. It's been a long time. It was around like the PS3 360 era. I want to say there was a jump, but it wasn't like right at the beginning. It was like a little bit into it, but. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like I just don't see there ever really being a downside to it. I mean, so even some of the new games that are launched now come out for $40 and they're good games.
Yeah.
So if my AAA titles are going to cost me, $70, that's fine. Cause I know I'm going to get at least, depending on the game, I'd imagine you're getting more of a game for $70. I don't think Miles Morales is $70, right? We don't know. We don't actually know the price of that. Actually,
I imagine it'll be a full price game. I think it will be.
Yeah. But I don't see there being any downside to this.
Yeah, I mean, as far as long term, short term, 100%. Like wait. Like if you can wait the year, because even like pretty much with every console, like PS3, PS2 stuck around for a long time, but like PS3 within like a year or so, they had a different version. Because remember, like for the first year, you could get, or like at launch, they had the backwards compatible models with PS1 and 2. Because I got lucky. Well, my cousin got lucky. He got one, and then I got lucky because when he got the upgraded model, he gave me his old one, so I was able to play PS1 and 2 games for a while on my PS3, which was awesome until I got Yellow Light of Death. But which I mean, it was like 12 years old at the 10, 11 years old. It was old. It was like ancient, like super ancient. But anyways. PS4 did a similar thing. Like there was like the launch model and they never like make a big deal about it. They never like, hey, the new PS4. They very quietly like just swap it out with the ones on the shelves at the store, or like when they sell out, they just restock with the new ones. No one notices. Maybe the box looks a little different, but they don't even announce it. And really, like maybe it has a little upgraded fan that fix the cooling. Maybe it has a little, like for PS4, it went from having like the shiny top plate to like the matte top plate.
And a button that was actually easy to find.
A button, yeah.
That stupid button on that original design was like, where is it? Oh, it's like a secret door. Like, how do you turn this thing on?
Yeah. So you wait a year on the PS5, and I'm sure there's going to be little iterations like that. Like, something to help it stay a little cooler. I'm sure there's going to be a little design difference, like stuff like that. But higher game prices, like I'm right on board there with you. I think I'm all for that if it means good games and
just long overdue.
People supported for
production value. Production value of a lot of those AAA titles has become so astronomical too that I mean, how else are you supposed to make that money back besides
DLC?
Besides DLC.
Oh and, I mean microtransactions,
In microtransactions,
That's why everyone has season passes.
Yeah, it's like so. Yeah, if I'm going to pay $70 for a game, and there be no microtransactions in it, I'm in. I'll pay more money.
100%.
So, anyways.
Cool. Well, thanks, homeboy, for that question. That was a good one. And I'm glad it lined up with a news article. It's always fun when something like that works out.
Yeah, way to go.
Alrighty. So here is our Gamescom 2020 highlights, this awesome, incredible event that we both forgot about. So here is the big news, the biggest news from Gamescom here. You ready for this?
Yes. Sorry.
Fall Guys Season 2 announced with a sneak peek trailer. So we got a trailer, and let me tell you, medieval themed. Dragons and Vikings and knights and all sorts of cool castle stuff. I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked.
Ooh.
That's the biggest thing out of Gamescom this last weekend.
Yeah, that's it. That and Call of Duty.
No, there was some other things. Dragon Age 4 first look and behind the scenes trailer. Did you have a chance to watch some of that trailer or no?
I didn't.
Okay.
But man, I'm a really big Dragon Age fan. I've loved 1 and 2. They actually have a little sentimental value for me because it's really interesting. So Dragon Age 1, it came out like well before I had kids. I had my first son in 2012, and when you're a dad, there's not a whole lot you can do besides just kind of sit there, right? So I would end up rocking him in a rocking chair and playing, Dragon Age, getting him to sleep. So then he finally fall asleep, and if you ever stopped, he'd wake up instantly. So I would just stay up crazy hours with this kid on my arm, switch arms. Playing through Dragon Age. So that was my Dragon Age 1. Then when I had my daughter, I had gotten into Dragon Age 2. I had my daughter in 2013. Is that right? No, 2014. Yeah, she was born a year and a half later. And so then I played through all of Dragon Age 2. And then so I have very fond memories of those two. I got halfway through Inquisition and got distracted.
Okay. That was a PS4 one, right?
Yeah. So I need to go back and finish that one because, my word, they spend so much time on the worlds in those games. 2, not so much. 2 is kind of annoying because you kind of just ran around in the same areas over and over again. But still, the characters in 2 are still really cool. And they come back. Some of them come back in Inquisition. So, but the first one, some of the characters in the first one come back in Inquisition too. But amazing story. So I'm pumped for Dragon Age 4. I can't wait for it to drop. Actually, them announcing 4 makes me want to go back through and play Inquisition now. So,
oh, nice.
I need to finish. I'll probably be able to start Inquisition over from the top. It's been so long since I played through it. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and the trailer was mostly concept art and stuff like that, but it still looks super cool. That's kind of another shameful moment. I disappointed Zetch once again. I'd never played a Dragon Age game, and so I've always saw Dragon Age Inquisition. It's always on sale on PSN.
Do it.
I was just like, oh man, one day I need to do it. Add it to my pile of shame.
Inquisition is definitely the best in the series.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, maybe I need to check it out then.
I mean, you will miss some story beats because you didn't play through the first 2. But the first one is really hard to go back and play through because the graphics are so bad.
Yeah, I mean, it was, what you said it earlier. It was like 2008 or something like that.
It came out in 2009, but here's the deal. It came out in 2009, and Mass Effect and a ton of other games have come out around the same time that were kind of the same caliber, and they all had much better graphics. The graphics for Dragon Age 1 look like PS2 era.
Oh, shoot.
It's so bad. So
Jeez.
bad.
Man. But so definitely one to check out there. Star Wars Squadrons campaign gameplay. So they showed a little gameplay for that. Revealed some characters. That's a game though. I'll probably enjoy the campaign, but I think the multiplayer is going to be the most fun in that.
Yeah.
Borderlands 3 DLC, Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck.
Nice.
I practiced that word. I practiced that word too. I was just all day today just repeating Fustercluck, Fustercluck, Fustercluck. They revealed some gameplay on that one. I'm actually kind of happy they're still coming out with stuff for Borderlands 3. I know so many people were so excited for that game to come out, and I pre-ordered it, played it on PC. It was one of those weird was one of the first games I pre-ordered on PC, which is bizarre. Like I'm not a PC gamer, but when it came out, my buddy was like, he only has a PC, so I'm like, yeah, we can do co-op together, play together, and we did for a good couple months. But it was one of those things where we got most of the way. I never got through the campaign. It was just one of those things. Our schedule never lined up, and it's more fun to play co-op. And like our schedules like stopped lining up to play together, so we just never got to the end. Unfortunately, I think he ended up beating it solo, but without me, he's like, "Screw it, I'm just gonna go on." I'm like, oh, "Okay,
Fine."
I'm sorry. Like I have a lot of other things going on in my life right now. But it's so cool, like how long they're supporting it. Like they've had quite a few DLC drops, and people love it. People keep going back and enjoying it. So good on them for continuing to support that game. Doom Eternal,
sure.
Doom Eternal and the Ancient Gods, Part 1. So you're the Doom Eternal player here.
Does
this have you stoked?
I'm super jazzed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the first DLC they've gotten?
Yeah, it's the first one.
Okay.
It's a story expansion.
Nice.
Okay. It's gonna have some new enemies. Gonna have some new areas. Oh man, just throw me back in. I'm ready to tear some stuff up. Like that game. That game is one of the best shooters ever made. And if you haven't played Doom Eternal, I really hope you guys make the chance to get it. I hope it goes on sale and you pick it up whenever you get a chance. Because anybody that's a shooter fan, and if you like FPSs, this is seriously the best FPS out there right now in terms of just action and story and just campaign. Like it's the best. Put it this way: it's not the best shooter, but it is far and away the best single-player shooter. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no other single-player shooter experience like this, and this campaign looks really cool. Like I did not.
it just sounds cool. Like Doom Eternal, the Ancient Gods. I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds intense.
It sounds like it's following along where it picks up where the game ends. So I'm kind of, and it's a part 1.
Yeah.
Part 1 of 2.
More DLC coming in.
Yeah, so this one will have a little cliffhanger and ending, and then the story will conclude in the next DLC pack. But yeah, nice. I am pumped about it.
That's awesome. And then Medal of Honor, Above and Beyond story trailer revealed. So when I saw Medal of Honor, I got really excited. I'm one of those weirdos who really loved Medal of Honor back in the day, like on PS1, PS2. I played hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of multiplayer on PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. We had the multi-tap, 4-player, multiplayer on our PS1. So stinking good. Me and my cousins playing that. And so when I saw Medal of Honor, I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, and it's back in World War II as well, because the last Medal of Honor that came out
was World War II. Was like a weird one.
It was a modern day thing that took place. It was like was that a 360 game?
Yeah.
PS3 360. It tried to catch up with Modern Warfare. Basically, they tried to do what Call of Duty did with Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
And didn't really hit the mark at all. So I was like, okay, it's Medal of Honor, it's World War II. And then they revealed it's a VR Oculus exclusive. So you can only play it on Oculus VR. And that kind of, it got me both excited because I'm like, okay, VR is pretty dope. And I've been really enjoying my Oculus. But I honestly kind of like, I miss the days when I get to sit down and, play Medal of Honor on my PS4 as well, or on my PlayStation. So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this. I'm both really excited because, again, Medal of Honor's back. It's World War II. Awesome. Great. But it's VR only. I'm like, oh, that's kind of, I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of a bummer, I think, at least for me. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it? Do you have any like attachment to the Medal of Honor series or?
I don't not like it. I'm kind of indifferent toward it, I guess. Like I don't really care.
Okay.
If the gameplay looks cool, I'll probably check it out. If it's not something I'm into, I'm out. I'm kind of hoping it's a really good military sim. A good mil sim would be fun on the Oculus, I think. I mean, they have a couple out there, but the graphic quality isn't as good on either of them. I'm mostly talking about Onward and the name of the other one. I forgot the name of the other one. But anyway, they both don't look that great. I think they're both in like early access or something. The quality, like the graphical fidelity on this actually looks pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's using the Frostbite engine. It's being developed by Respawn.
Oh man, yeah, they're a good developer.
Great developer,
Frostbite's
amazing developer,
a beautiful engine.
Yeah, exactly. So using Frostbite in VR, like This might be pretty smoking hot game
I hope it
when
has
it comes out.
multiplayer. I want
It
like
has
squad.
to. It
I want
has
squad
that's
based multiplayer.
yeah. I mean that was Medal of Honor. Like Medal of Honor was the Call of Duty before Call of Duty. Like
Yeah,
it has to have multiplayer. If it doesn't, I'd be so sad.
yeah,
But yeah, man. So
yeah.
was there
Could be
anything
cool.
else at Gamescom that stood out to you? I know there was some Ratchet and Clank. They confirmed it for PS5 launch window, whatever that means. I could be
Whatever
anytime in
happened,
like
it
the
could be next
first like
year.
4 months. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But
Oh yeah, that it wasn't anything we haven't seen before.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I watched it and was like, okay, there's a lot of cool particle effects going on. There's a lot of really cool rendering, like reflections in the water and stuff like that. Like you can tell it's definitely, it looks a lot better. It looks next gen, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like it's not really. It's not a killer app for me. I'm not like, oh gosh, I gotta pre-order a PS5 now. I
For
gotta get
Ratchet
me
and
Ratchet and
Clank.
Clank. You know.
No, totally.
But if it was
Yeah,
like a God of War,
Oof.
or even Horizon Zero Dawn 2,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
or Horizon
Sign
what was it called? Horizon Forbidden
Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West.
Forbidden West. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Thank you, Garrett. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like even if that game, like that would probably get me to get a PS4 at this point, PS5. But they probably won't let me get one anyway, because I'm pretty sure I'm not as active as like you are on PlayStation. So yeah,
Yeah, we will see. I'm really curious if I get an email back. Like I doubt I will, because
so
especially like,
lame. It's
I mean,
so
even
lame.
this last year, I feel like I've been less active on PlayStation. Like I mean, even though I play games for the podcast and stuff, I've been doing a lot on PC, or I don't know, just I don't use online services. I use my single player.
Yeah,
I just do single player games. So I wonder if that affects it. Like, oh, you're not actually
nah.
using PSN.
They're
You're just playing the
probably
single player games. So.
they're probably just looking at your trophy count.
Which isn't very high. I don't go through and plat games. Like I'll just play the campaign, get whatever base trophies you get, if you get any, and then
See,
peace out. So
just start beating all your games, Garrett. Start going through them. At least finishing them. You get those gold trophies. You know.
too hard, too difficult. I'm a fake gamer, don't you know?
You just like to talk
Cool.
about games.
I just love talking about them, man.
Yeah.
But now it is time to talk about our Patreon. Alrighty, guys. So if you did not know, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can go over there and support us for just $1 a month. Get our episodes early and ad-free. That's right. You can get this tonight after we finish recording. We usually record Mondays. We also have our $5 level where we can send you the show notes early. Today I was a little late on them. I'm did crappy. I'm sorry, everyone. But no, usually we get those out the weekend before so that we can you guys can actually see what we're going to be talking about. Give your own 2 cents. Leave your comments on the doc. It's a lot of fun. We have our $10 sponsor level where you can get the shout out on the show, and then our $15 sponsor level or producer level. Sorry, I said that wrong. Producer level, $15 producer level, just like our very own producer, Adrian Homeboy Holmes, where you can be our boss, tell us what to do. As in, you can send us news segments, you can give us pitch segment ideas. If, heck, Adrian's always welcome to be on the show if he wants to, which we should do that sometime. We should have him on the show, like especially when there's something big with indie games or Nintendo. He's knows everything there is about indie games and Nintendo stuff, and I feel like that's like where I'm totally blind. So we definitely should have him on at some point. That'd be super fun. But yeah, go support us over there. Also, a new thing that we are going to be launching in September, towards the end of September, we are going to be releasing additional bonus episodes only available on Patreon. We have our Super Gamer Book Club, we're calling it, where every month we are going to go in depth and review a game that we all 3 of us played through. We're going to talk about the story, the gameplay, really break it down, how it made us feel, how the experience was, why we like it, why we didn't like it. And yeah, just to kind of give you guys more. And that would be available, just at that $1 a month. Not only do you get these episodes early and ad free, but you can get that bonus episode each and every month as well, with us, chit chatting about the games that we're playing. Generally, it's going to be more like we're looking for more like classic games. So I think this first one, have we announced the game for this first one yet?
BioShock 1.
BioShock 1. So it's a game I haven't played in forever.
JJ's never played it.
JJ's never played it, right? He just played the first hour or two. Said it was too creepy for him, but now we're forcing him to play it.
Yeah, do it.
So
put the big boy pants on.
Exactly. So sign up over at patreon.com/supergamerboys at just the $1 a month level. And then when that goes live, you'll get it straight to your very own private podcast feed. So think about it. And, if you love what we do and want to support us, we would very, very much appreciate that. So, alrighty. Thank you guys so much. And let's get back to the show. Alrighty, so new releases here. Let's run through this quick.
Yeah, wow. Lots of new releases.
There's a lot of stuff. I was surprised. Control, AWE. I forget what that stands for, but it's something.
Alan Wake edition.
It's Alan Wake something. Alan Wake. I forget. DLC. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, PC. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition, PS4, Switch, iOS, and Android. Surgeon Simulator 2 came out on PC. Tell Me Why, Xbox One and PC.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that's kind of, isn't it made by the people who did, oh shoot, what was that game?
It was a Square Enix one.
Don't Nod? Is that the developer?
No, I'm thinking of Life is Strange. Didn't they do Life is Strange? Don't Nod did it?
Don't Nod. Yeah, Don't Nod Entertainment did Tell Me Why and Life is Strange. Yeah, and Vampire and Twin Mirror, which is it hasn't come out yet. It's 2020 release date. Never mind. I just Googled it real quick.
Vampire?
Yeah, Vampire.
Vampire.
As a Y, I don't know.
It's vampire. Stop being all weird.
Vampire.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
The Last Campfire, PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. Madden NFL 21.
What? Surprise PS4, release of Xbox the year.
Shocking. No one saw it coming. I didn't see this one coming. Project Cars 3. I actually really enjoyed Project Cars. I played the first one on PS4. I almost bought the second one. And then I was like, nah, I got the first one. It's fine. It's fun enough. And I saw, I was doing the notes. I'm like, huh, the third one just came out? That's awesome. So, especially when, Gran Turismo comes out every, 20 years, this is a fun in-between game to fill those gaps. So
you get Forza instead. It's better.
Yeah, except Forza isn't on PlayStation. So, as soon as they start making it for PlayStation, I'll buy that.
PC?
Yeah, I don't like playing games on PC. Racing games are hard to play on PC, even with a controller.
Yeah, what? Well, then how do you play it on a console?
It feels different though. I feel like
you're crazy.
It doesn't feel the same. I feel like whenever I use a controller on my PC, it doesn't have the same latencies. Maybe latencies are it almost feels like ghosty a little bit.
Maybe you need to start using an Xbox controller instead.
Yeah, but then I gotta pay more money. I like my 8-bit though.
That's why you're doing it. Yeah, you need to get the USB cord and plug that into your PlayStation controller, and then
maybe I need to plug my 8-bit. I always try to do 8-bit over Bluetooth. Maybe I need to plug it directly in and it'd work fine.
Oh yeah, maybe no latency then.
Yeah, that takes too much work. Wasteland 3 also came out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
This is why you don't ever finish games.
Why?
Apparently, the easiest thing is too hard for you.
Too much work. Too much work. What you been playing, Zech?
So obviously, I've been playing BioShock for our Super Gamer Book Club. Working through that. I am almost there to the 4th. I just got to the garden area. So, yeah. So I got a lot of thoughts on that. I'm enjoying it. still.
Don't
And
talk
then
about them.
I'm
Don't
not gonna
talk about
talk. I'm
them.
not gonna talk about anything beyond that. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
For the Patreon exclusive. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it real quick here because we mentioned during the ad, which all the Patreon supporters don't
Oh,
get.
yeah.
But yeah, we're doing the Super Gamer Book Club. If you support us on Patreon, you're already going to get it exclusive to Patreon. We're doing BioShock in September, so look forward to that towards the end of the month.
BioShock 1. Yeah, all you lovely Patreon supporters will be able to get that extra episode. All of our thoughts and ideas and impressions of just classic games is what that podcast episode is going to be
Oh
about.
shoot,
So,
I totally missed out on like the golden, like I should have been like in the Patreon ad. Would you kindly support us over on Patreon?
oh,
I missed it.
man.
I missed it.
Oh, man.
And I wish I would have thought of that like
Should have thought that.
10 minutes ago.
It's all right. It happens.
If I was not an idiot.
It's okay.
Sorry, I feel like I let everyone down with that one. I'm really sorry.
All right. But yeah, no, I'm excited to actually really thoroughly discuss that game. 'Cause that's kind of, I feel like a lot of times when we get to this section, we're always kind of like, oh yeah, I played this game, it's really fun, and then we kind of like leave it at that. But the Super Gamer Book Club is our chance to kind of actually really take a deep dive into some of these titles. And BioShock is one of those titles where there's so much depth.
There's a lot.
There's
A lot going on.
So, yeah, that's gonna be a long episode. I'm excited about it, but yeah, I'm almost done with Ghost of Tsushima. I finished the second act. I'm just scratching the surface on the third act now, and I got to tell you, that game throws you some big curveballs. Like
Dang.
you think it's giving you all the stuff in the game, and then all of a sudden, it gives you like a new thing. Like halfway through, you're like, what the heck?
Like
This
new
is
mechanics
awesome.
or like story wise?
Like new mechanics, and the story obviously is I feel like if you are familiar with any like Kurosawa, like old school, like samurai tales, you'd kind of this story would be kind of predictable.
Okay.
But it doesn't detract from how beautiful and emotional the storytelling is. So
Okay.
very well done. I'm thoroughly enjoying my playthrough of that game. If we ever had a chance to do like a spoiler cast review one of these days, where somebody else on the show plays it, I would love to do that. But I'm loving it, man. I'm really loving that game. It's
Nice.
I can't wait to finish it. I am a little bit bummed because apparently the game kind of like locks you out of going back to the second two, their old areas, without really telling you.
That's the worst.
So I'm kind of bummed about that.
So are you to that point now, or?
Yeah, so
man.
so now I'm like, man, so that's gonna be one of those things where I think I have to finish Act 3 and actually beat the game before I can go back and kind of go back for the platinum. So because there's some things I missed.
Well, yeah.
So-
Sometimes they have like, does it have a new game plus in it? Because sometimes it'll like open up and just do new game plus, and everything will already be unlocked and open. You can just bump it. Or even like God of War, like the world opened up. Like after the game,
Yeah.
it wasn't new game plus, but like the world is open. Like okay, go finish up your trophies now.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking it's gonna do. Where it just like opens up. It's like, okay, well now that you've liberated, all of Tsushima, go clear out the rest of the bandits that you met. You know what I mean? Like I missed
Right.
some shrines deliberately because my kids like to watch me climb them, and that's like the only part of the game they can actually watch. So, that and the haikus. So I was gonna try to go back. Like I had found them, and I was like, oh, I should actually come back and do this when my kids are, available to watch me check it out. So, but then I ended up getting too far, and I'm like, oh man, I can't go back. And so, yeah, now I'm doing that now. So, but yeah, at any rate,
Bummer.
it's still one of the best games released this year. And I'm finding out about Ghost of Tsushima that it really doesn't do anything that new for open world games. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of generic in a lot of respects, but it's still fresh in the way it approaches it, and the combat is what really kind of hooks you, especially the standoffs. Like I just finally recently unlocked the trophy where you have to do a standoff, and then you can chain it. So like if you can tap triangle before another guy comes in to hit you, you can end up killing a group of dudes without having to break away from the standoff mode. So you can be like, one hit kills for each of them.
Okay.
Super fun.
That's
a
awesome.
A lot of fun mechanics. Anyway, I could talk about the game forever. Still playing that. So, and
Nice.
I got my PlayStation Plus back. So I also got Fall Guys now on PlayStation for anybody who wants to play with me. Yeah, I found like a cheap, like CD Keys had a sale for like $31. So I was like, okay. So I got like a year for $31. Like
Nice.
I can't pass that up.
I almost texted you guys because I got the email last week that they were on sale for like $40 some. But if you got it even cheaper, that's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. I saw PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus were just on sale for like 40 some, like $41 or something, like 30 something percent off.
Yeah.
So like I was I was bummed because I'm like, I bought the year of PlayStation Now like, I don't know, 3 months ago or something over the summer. It's like if I would have waited just a few more months. But I don't know. I wanted to get it then because they had like Control on there and a few other games that, because they phase out the games every few months, at least the bigger titles there.
Well, I already own.
So if any of you guys are interested in PlayStation Now or even PlayStation Plus, the last I checked, they were on sale.
I actually found this app for iOS. I don't know if it's on Android, but it's called like PS Deals or something like that, and it just shows you like all these deals, and that's how I found out about the PlayStation Plus thing.
Oh,
it
nice.
just like filters in like all the deals of like what's on the PS Network and like anything else, puts them all in the one spot, and then like you click it and you get taken out. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
I usually use G2A for and that's like PC keys, but then also like they'll randomly have sales on like PlayStation Network keys and stuff like that too. It's mainly for PC based, but to have one that's focus on PlayStation Network, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, so check it out. There's also an Xbox version of the same app too, so pretty cool. Okay. Check it out. PS deals, cool. Xbox deals. Yeah.
Sweet.
iOS. What about you, man?
I've been playing nothing. I played one game. I played a game. I mean, I played 2 games. I played a little bit of Fall Guys. We already talked about that. You guys know my feelings. It's fun with friends, but alone it sucks.
Yeah.
and I played it with those buddies on their stream again. It was a ton of fun. But I also played another game on that same buddy's stream. Again, I talked about last week, twitch.tv/BobaFletch. And I messaged him earlier in the day. I'm like, hey, dude, have you seen the trailer for Surgeon Simulator 2? And he's like, no, never heard of it. I'm like, you got to check it out. Like it has 4-player co-op and the controls are janky as heck, like purposefully. And it is like the most bizarre, like, okay, this guy needs a double arm transplant. This guy needs like his heart transplant, his left leg and his, whatever, like, it's crazy. Like they give you these crazy absurd surgeries you got to do, but they intentionally make the controls like impossible. Like it's so hard to control your guy. So like you're trying to cut, like, okay, I got to saw this guy's arm off, and you're also there's one guy with a saw, another guy with a shot that makes the blood stop, makes him stop bleeding, and another one giving him more blood, like a blood bag basically, and someone else is watching the screen, like, okay, watching his vitals, like, okay, a little more blood thickener, stop his bleeding. Okay, now you can saw nice and slow, and all it takes is like one little wrong flick of the wrist, and all of a sudden, oh, you chopped his left leg off. We were going for his right arm. Like, what happened? Oh my gosh. Oh, he's bleeding. Quick, stop the bleeding. Okay, we stopped the bleeding. Oh no, his spleen just fell, like his intestines, whatever. It's just chaos, and it's so stupid. Like, it's so stupid, but it was so hilarious. Like, it was a fun game to play on stream with like 4 buddies, and then there's like the one person who's like, oh, I'm totally just gonna like, I'm just trolling.
Mutilate him.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna go in there and like everyone's being careful. Like, okay, we're having, he needs a new heart and 2 new lungs. Like everyone just stay calm, be chill. And like he comes in with a scalpel and just starts like ripping stuff out. Like, you're like, no, put that back. Like it's just shenanigans. It's a game about shenanigans, and it's like super cartoony and like cheesy looking. Like it's not like hyper realistic, gross or anything like that. It's like really goofy, silly, cartoony.
Yeah.
And the tools you use is just like a handsaw, a hammer for smashing through the ribs, and like this ginormous scalpel that's super awkward to hang on to, and you only have one hand, and it like sticks out like this, and there's like these weird, you can move your hand like this or forward and backwards. Like that's all you can do is this or forward and backwards. So basically you pick up an item, and if you pick up a hammer by like the wrong end or something, you have to like twist your arm all funny and then like reposition it on the table and drop it, and then twist your arm back around.
For our audio listeners, what direction is this?
So forward and back. So it's basically like away from my body, closer to the body, up, down, left, right, like all the planes of motion.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All 6
3D,
degrees.
3 dimensions. but just the one arm, and it's like a super janky key combo you got to do, and like moving your mouse, and like I said, they purposely make it so janky to control, and it's just so much fun. It's a stupid game. It's like $25 on the Epic Store. I'm glad I had a coupon, because I was like, I don't know if I paid $25 for it. Over the summer, I randomly got like one of their like Epic Summer Deals coupons for buying a game, and cool. So it was like $10 off or $15 off. So I got it for like pretty cheap. I'm like, I'm willing to pay like $10-15 for this game. I don't remember how much it was, but it was discounted. I'm like, okay, I can do that. That's fine, especially for a fun stream game with my buddies. Like, get on there and just screw around for a little bit, because that's the 4-player co-op. I would never play it alone, but together, because some of the puzzles are hard too. So we've gotten to a point in the game where we haven't done like this one level. We didn't do a surgery for like 10 minutes. Like it's this puzzle, like just to get in. And there's this like weird narrative where the hospital is kind of not haunted, but like there's like weird like experiments and stuff going on there. It gets like also weirdly dark, but like still silly and goofy and slapsticky. And then all of a sudden you like randomly drop into the surgery where it's like he needs a head transplant or something like that. Like whatever, you just never know what you're gonna run into. So the puzzles are like hard, and you need 4 people. Like, okay, you run over there and unlock this door while I grab the fuse over here. And while you guys are doing surgery, we have 2 minutes to finish that surgery. So do it quick. And we all have to finish at the same time. And yeah, it gets pretty convoluted and crazy, but so cool. It's fun. It's nice. Fun to goofy game to play with friends. So that's all I played last week. I played some of that, and yeah, I got my fill of games for the week, apparently.
Awesome. Nice. Fun.
But yeah, well, do you have anything else for us, Zetch?
No, that's it for me.
Nothing? That is it from me as well. So thank you guys so much for listening to our show this week. Remember, you can find us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can support us over there, get our episodes early and ad-free, as well as that cool bonus show coming out once a month there. Keep an eye on that. You can also support us over at supergamerboys.com/store. You can get some sweet merch with our logos, our faces, and random inside jokes over there. The mug over there, that's one of my favorites. Our mug. Definitely cool pick mug. One of those up. Those are fun. You can rate, review us. That would be very much appreciated on any of your podcast app, that you listen through, or on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. That would be super, super helpful. Even if you don't watch it on YouTube, just go over there and give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment too. That's another thing I always forget to mention. Leaving comments helps too. Even if it's just like, hey, I'm leaving a comment. Hi. That helps the algorithm find us. So do stuff like that. Say hi and let us know that you watched the show. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys, facebook.com/supergamerboys. I am on Twitter at gmorlang. JJ is over on Twitter. He got offended last week when I said he never checks it. So apparently he does, at least when I call him out on it, at JJ Purdom. And then Zetch is over on Twitter and Instagram at
Nerd Dad Zetch on both.
Nerd Dad Zetch. Go check him out. Thank you to Star Andrews for our logo. Check her out on Instagram at Ground Floor Graphics and Facebook.com/Ground Floor Graphics. And that is it. That's all I got for you.
All right. I am Zetch Keenan, and he is Garrett Morlang. And it's been a pleasure talking with all y'all. See you around.
We will catch you on a flippity flop.